Patriarchy is a social system where men hold the majority of power and influence in society. It's characterised by male dominance, often with the belief that men are naturally superior to women, and that their interests should be prioritised. This system can manifest in various ways, including unequal access to resources, political representation and opportunities, as well as societal expectations and norms that privilege men.
Did you like the way I read that out in the voice of a northern comedian on the circuit from the 1970s? I'm back to me gormless glasses. It makes me look more like a people pleaser than my intimidating, narcissistic sunglasses, don't you think? And I'm all over the shop with my eyes now because I don't know where the flipping lens of the camera is. Is it that little green light in the corner? It doesn't matter. Welcome back to People Pleaser in Recovery, the Daf Williams channel. Today's title, People Pleasers and the Patriarchy. Now, the Patriarchy. The Patriarchy have a right to have a cup of tea whenever they feel like it, even in the middle of making a video. Well, at the beginning. Right, slurp. Doing all these voices, you got to keep the vocal cords oiled, as it were. Okay, people pleasers and the patriarchy. Now, I will wager, although not a betting man, I would wager that somewhere in the past of a people pleaser, male or female, there has been an adult male of significantly older years who cast a powerful influence, some might say shadow, upon the young people pleaser. The young people pleaser, well, they didn't identify a people pleaser at the time because they were too young to understand the concept of people pleasing. But the young person who turned into a people pleaser was scared of the male authority figure. And they wanted to do all that they could to impress and to please the male authority figure. But they realized after a while that it didn't matter what they did, that they would never please them. They were projecting onto this older male authority figure expectations, high standards, and it came from within. It wasn't actually what the male authority figure said. Perhaps it was what they didn't say. And the imagination of the young people pleaser played tricks with them. But the patriarchy, the male dominance in society, and be you female or male people pleaser in recovery, I would hazard a guess that there was a male authority figure who, when they went, or who shouted, jump, you jumped. You jumped out your skin because you didn't want to you didn't want to displease them, because you felt that your very existence depended on keeping them happy. And if this happened to you as a nipper when you were under 10 years of age, you took that into your teenage years and you took that into adulthood. And you transferred your people-pleasing of the patriarchy and you transferred it to wider general society. It became almost hardwired in your brain that for me to be accepted in my own right, for me to be approved of, I will have to please people. Even though it was a fruitless task that you started to undertake as a child and a teenager, there was no reward because you realized there's no pleasing you in the in the words of the old Chaz and Dave song. But you take it into the adult world and you spend decades trying to please people that you shouldn't be trying to please, because you know now that people cannot be pleased. People act out of self-interest. Sure, if they have the financial means and they are comfortable, perhaps they can allow themselves to be a bit more natural and altruistic in their outlook on life. But so many people are scrambling around in the 5 days a week that we are obliged to work for a living governor, that they've got very little time to worry about other people. But if somebody crosses their path or crosses their eye line, and that person is wearing a sign that says people pleaser, then that person will think, all right, I shall take advantage of people pleaser because he's wearing a sign that says people pleaser. Now, men have had it in the neck over the past 10 years. They've had it in the neck forever, really, because, they're targets, aren't they? They're targets for abuse from all sorts, because does the buck stop with the man? Does the buck stop with the patriarchy? Have the menfolk decided that it's our responsibility to run the world? We're making a bloody hash of it now, aren't we? The butchers of Bethlehem, the butcher Bibi in Israel, that's the patriarchy writ large, isn't it? And why are we in the West trying to please that bastard? Oh, sorry, I got political there now. YouTube or somebody from, Censors Anonymous will be going through this video with a fine-tooth comb, because they've seen that I've got the Palestinian flag as my avatar. And, whatever, freedom of speech, yeah, freedom of speech. You can say what they approve of. Right, people pleasers and the patriarchy. Narcissists make up 75%, or men rather make up 75% of people diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. So the majority of narcissists, people with the emotional wound from childhood, that humiliating, narcissists might well have suffered at the hands of a male authority figure. They might have been humiliated, and they made the decision, right, I'm not having none of that in my life. I'll show him. And then they carry this resentment, and then they make other people's lives hell. Whereas the poor little people pleaser thinks, oh, what's happened? Oh dear, I better not make that mistake again. I displeased that person. And then they spend their whole existence trying to please a plethora of strangers and people that they really have no interest or have no reason in pleasing. We like to get along, I like to just be amenable, yes, but at the sake of your own self-respect and the sake of your own sanity. So this video, now we're coming up to 10 minutes, has just been a skirt around the subject of people pleasers and the patriarchy. But to summarize, I would suggest that most of us who are people pleasers or people pleasers in recovery have been within the powerful influence of a male authority figure that we were never able to please. And then our minds kicked into a loop and we forgot all about boundaries and we set out on this search for Shangri-La where we thought we could please everybody. Diolch yn wylio, diolch yn wrando.